In this video, I'm putting the new Premiere 2026 masking system to the test. We're gonna push it, give it difficult tasks, and see if it's actually worth ditching After Effects Roto Brush. I'll show you where it shines, but also where it still fails. Chapter 1. How the new masking system works. It's actually very simple. The masking tools are no longer available in the effect controls underneath the opacity property or other effects. Instead, the mask tools are now in the toolbar. This right here is the object mask tool. More about that soon. Now, to access the other tools, you just gotta click and hold until you see this menu. And right here, you'll find the ellipse, rectangular, and pen mask. Let's pick the pen mask for now. Let's say I want to create a mask right here. Then you have to select your clip, and then in the program monitor, you can create a mask like this. Drawing a mask still works exactly the same as in the old Premiere. And of course, you can adjust the feather of the mask by pulling this lever on top. As you can see, the mask itself looks different from the classic masks. It also feels a lot smoother. You will clearly notice that the entire masking system has been rewritten in Premiere. This is a good thing. Now do this to the entire program, please. Now you can also see this colored overlay. This can be changed or turned off in the menu right here if you want. Now, where do you find this mask back? Right here in the effect controls, under unassigned masks. The mask is on your clip, but it isn't doing anything yet. If you want to remove everything outside the mask, click and drag the mask to the opacity effect. By the way, you can also select the opacity effect before masking, and then the mask will be applied to opacity directly. Same thing for effects. You can simply drag a mask to an effect, or you can select the effect before applying a mask. Super simple. And now we're gonna focus on the new object mask tool and see how it actually performs. Chapter 2. Masking a person. If I wanted to put some text behind me in the old Premiere, I would need After Effects, because it wouldn't really look that great. Let's see if that's still necessary with the mask tool. So right here, I have two layers, my video and a text layer. Now, to put the text behind me, I need to first duplicate my clip and rotoscope myself out. So select the top one, then click the object mask tool and go to the program monitor. In here, simply click yourself. That should make a solid selection. And if it doesn't, you can always make another selection and that will merge with your current selection. If you accidentally selected too much, select the minus mask right here, or just hold down Alt while drawing a mask. And there you go. Now you don't need to do this for every frame. That's what the object mask tool is for. So simply go to the effect controls and under unassigned masks, you'll find the mask we just created. Then click the track forward and backward button. That will track your selection for the entire clip. You can see the keyframes right here. There you go. Next, click and drag the mask to the opacity effect and boom. Now clearly for tasks like this, you don't need After Effects anymore. Next, we're gonna test this tool with some more difficult shots. But first, I want to show you something else that makes Premiere 10 times better. And that's access to stock footage made by real artists. No AI generated clips and all of that straight in Premiere. And that's possible with the Storyblocks plugin. This literally helps me tell my stories. I mean, look at this. You can just type in a keyword and look at these beautiful shots all made by real humans. Again, they're not AI generated like on most stock libraries nowadays. Nothing against AI generation, by the way, but when you pay for stock footage, it needs to be real, agree? You'll get unlimited downloads of diverse and high-quality media for one predictable subscription cost. Storyblocks has everything you need in one place. 4K HD video, templates, music, sound effects, backgrounds, and images. It gives me unlimited content that I can use to create videos like this one. All the footage in this video is from Storyblocks. You can choose between a monthly or annual plan, no hidden costs. Anything you download is completely royalty-free, no legal issues or copyright claims. Storyblocks, thank you so much for sponsoring this video and for supporting the channel. To get started with unlimited stock media downloads at one set price, head over to storyblocks.com/premierebasics. Or just click the link down below. Now it's time for Chapter 3, Mask Tracking a Face. Let's see if it's better than the old Premiere. So I'd like to add a bit more color to my talent here. To do that, first go to Lumetri and add some warmth to the video. And that of course adds warmth everywhere, and we only want it on our face. To do that, go to the effect controls and in here, make sure Lumetri color is selected. Then go to the timeline and select the object mask tool. Now head over to the program monitor and we're gonna use the rectangular selection tool. Draw a box around the person's face and that will instantly create a perfect selection. Now, in the effect controls, we're gonna drag the mask forward and backward. Wait until it's done. And since we had the lumetri color selected, the mask is now automatically applied to that effect. There you go. Of course, you can now go back to lumetri and adjust the color grade until it looks perfect. And there you go. Honestly, this works so well and so fast that you can even try this on longer videos. I don't think this uses your computer hardware, correct me if I'm wrong, so if this AI is cloud-based, even your potato computer can run this. Chapter 4. Testing how this new mask tool handles occlusion. This is an old video of my wife walking behind a tree. Now, what if we use the object selection tool? I mean, obviously she's not an object, and see if the tool detects the tree and knows that she's walking behind it. Right here, I have one clip that's black and white. Let me enable lumetri color real quick. Okay, and then back in the timeline, let's duplicate this clip for a second. Now go back to the effect controls and let me remove the lumetri color on this one. Now the colors are back. You'll see why in a second. Now select the opacity effect and then go back in the timeline. Grab the object mask tool and then in the program monitor, click the object or the wife. Alright, now in the effect controls, click the forward backward button and let's wait for it. Oh my, that actually worked really well. Good job, Adobe. It did make a very small mistake, but hey, you won't even notice it when playing it back, and if you really want to, you can always correct it. Chapter 5. Masking objects. Up until now, we've only tried masking humans. And my wife. Now let's try masking objects. This drifting car, for example. This one's difficult because the car's white and there's white dust behind it. Now, quick tip, as you can see in the beginning, the entire car isn't visible. So what I think will get you a better result is moving to a point in your clip where the car is fully in frame, like here, for example. And now click the mask tool and in the program monitor select the car. If it doesn't select it entirely by itself, just do it manually like this. There you go. Now let's click the tracking forward backward button and let Premiere do its thing. Alright, now when I look at the result, I see a lot of flickering, and yeah, I guess that's normal because the dust doesn't make it easy to track the car. But for things like color grading, this might still be usable. Let's try increasing the exposure or something. Okay, now the problem is that this adjustment now reveals an edge from the exposure property, but you can easily fix that by playing around with the feather a bit, and now back in lumetri you can further tweak your lighting until it looks great. And if you feather it enough, not too much, the mask is pretty usable. Chapter 6. Faster motion and bad contrast masking. This is a clip of a tennis ball moving pretty fast and has bad contrast with the background. So I wonder how Premiere will handle this. Let's grab the mask tool and create a selection around the ball. Oh, and it recognizes it instantly. Okay, now let's track it and wow, that looks perfect. I gotta say, well done, Adobe. Now, I also want to try masking out this guy. I'm not sure if Premiere can do this since he goes out of frame for a long time. Let's give it a shot. Alright, the selection works. Now let's track it. And yes, just like I thought, Premiere lost it when he went out of the frame. But this doesn't have to be an issue. You can just go back to the timeline, add a cut where the guy went out of frame, then move the playhead to somewhere at the end or something. Then make sure the second clip is selected and then track him again. Now it works and the result is perfect. Conclusion. For about 80% of everyday edits, the new masking system can kind of replace After Effects. But of course, for heavy compositing, you still need the RotoBrush tool. Now, that said, this is a huge step forward. Adobe deserves some credit for this one. But if you want to learn more about that and the new update from Premiere, right here, video on my left. Thank you guys so much for watching. Skibbity ba! Boom, ba, 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 ba.